Hey guys, New Jersey Piper Ben here. Housekeeping quickly, having some Smoking Pipes 20th anniversary light flake in my Costello billiard. Very much love this pipe and that tobacco blend. Wanted to do a VR for Uncle Phil's Cellar 1000 sub GAW. Hey, how you doing? Congrats on your subs. It's a fantastic achievement, and just started getting into your channel recently, so I apologize for missing out on the GAW you're doing for your commenters. After watching some of your videos this morning, I definitely should have been getting in on that. Enjoy your channel quite a bit, but I'll definitely rectify that going forward. You have a fantastic channel, and I love your sense of humor. I watched your VR to Redcoats Return Lester about the aliens, and I was just cracking up at that video. That was fantastic. So guys, Uncle Phil Cellar is doing a GAW for his 1,000 subs. If you weren't in the commenter GAW, this is a VR that's open, or a GAW that's open to everyone, and you can just say I'm in, or you can shoot a VR and get 3 entries. And the price for this particular GAW is your pick of Blake Mar-Breyer's pipes, in or around, under or no higher than the 100-pound price range, which is a really good budget for a Blake Mar-Breyer pipe. I have 2 Blake Mar-Breyers already. I have a pot and a Canadian, and they're both great. I definitely prefer the pot, I think. If I'm lucky enough to win this GAW, I think I'm going to go with that billiard, the large billiard that he has in the Aristocrat line, because that's one I kind of wish I'd gotten that one instead of the Canadian, but you know, what are you gonna do? So the GAW question is, tell us something about yourself that we don't know, or that maybe we haven't shared with the YTPC. And if I'm remembering back, like, I think I mentioned something about this in one of my videos a long time ago, kind of in passing, but you know, back when I had like 14 subscribers. And I'm going to go into a little bit more depth, so I'm going to use it anyway, even though I think I might have mentioned it. But my first, like, quote-unquote official paying job as a kid was I kept score at baseball games for the rec department. This was when I was 15 years old. So in my town where I was growing up, you had to be 16 to work in like a I guess like a taxable business or some kind of official corporation or something like that. So like bag groceries or like work in a fast food restaurant, you had to be 16. So I was 15 and I still wanted a way to like kind of earn money. So I think my mom was kind of heard about this because she worked for the school district. But apparently, you know, younger kids could actually keep score for baseball games. I thought, why not, you know? Something to do. I liked baseball. But the funniest part about it, I guess, is like for every game you kept score, you got paid $3. You know, for probably at least an hour and a half of your life. The games are pretty quick. Like, I think they cut off most of them at 6 innings at that level. And then, like, to keep score, there's like a pad of paper that's got a template on it, and you mark pretty much each thing that happens during the game. You mark each pitch, whether it was a strike, a ball, whatever. I obviously couldn't do it if you asked me to right now, but somebody had to teach me how to do this. I can't remember the details about how that happened, but yeah, it was basically the official record of the game. So yeah, I mean, it was a fun time, but I remember, like, I guess at my busiest moment that summer or whenever it was, I actually got a paycheck for $33. And I was just like, I was big time at that point, boy. And that money was burning a hole in my pocket. So I think my mom like cashed it for me or something. I can't remember. And I would go to Walmart and get some comic books or baseball cards or something, because I did collect those things for a while. Again, I've got that collector brain, which is why I think I've taken to pipes and tobacco so much. But I'll have to take a look at my comics and sports cards at some point when I'm an old man and see if I've got any money hidden away somewhere. I doubt it, but you never know. I don't have like a Mickey Mantle rookie card or anything like that. But yeah, it was a funny day. I was keeping score for a girls softball game, and I can't remember exactly how it happened or the details around how it happened, but essentially after a third out at some point, the game was officially over. I failed to realize this. The umpire failed to realize this. None of the players realized it. But at some point when they had switched sides and got everybody out on the field and somebody was about to go up to bat, somebody came into my little room. I had a room, like a concrete room, a cinder block room behind home base where I sat and kept score. It was like a chain link fence I could see through, and somebody came in the back door and was like, "Hey, I'm pretty sure the game is officially over." And I was like, and I start looking at my pad, and then I remember, okay, yeah, we're only going to 6 innings here. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And I was like, ump, and I'm yelling at the ump through the fence, and I was like, that's game, game's over. And the ump calls it, and everybody's like kind of cracking up laughing, and so that was a fun day. I don't know whose job that was to like officially call the game. I would assume it would be the umpire, since, you know, he was kind of the only adult officially in charge of the situation. But I guess he just missed it for whatever reason. I don't know how they keep track of it, if they have like some sort of thing they keep in their pocket that marks where we are in the game, or maybe it was my job and I was supposed to officially call it myself. But I guess every other game to that point, when it was over, for some reason it just felt like everybody realized that at the same time, and it was over, and I never had to like step in and say, hey, the game's over. Except for this one time, for some reason. I don't know if it was just, maybe it was a game that went by fairly quickly and smoothly and uneventful. So I don't know. It was kind of strange though, but it was a pretty funny thing there. But yeah, I did follow baseball for quite a while, mostly in the 90s, and then they went on strike, and I just kind of stopped paying attention and eventually just ran out of room in my brain for it, which has basically happened for most sports these days. I have followed, you know, a little bit college football, just because Clemson has been doing kind of really well of late with a couple of national championships and some good teams, and I'm a Clemson graduate, so kind of hard not to pay attention when that happens. But to be honest, I just don't get into it that much. I don't devote a lot of emotional sort of bandwidth to it at all. But baseball's always been one of those things that's been sort of uniquely American, and you know, it's one of the, maybe if not the only sport that actually doesn't have like an official timer. It has a process that it has to go through. So, you know, technically a baseball game could go on forever. You know, it's possible. It would obviously never happen, but it's possible for that to happen. And because of that aspect of it, I've always found it much more interesting than just about any other sport. So, yeah, so that's the story of my first quote-unquote official paying job as a 15-year-old kid making $3 for an hour and a half of work. Yeah, and then I went on to like have the regular stuff. I worked in grocery stores, and I worked in the kitchen of a hospital washing dishes. That was a fun job for after school from 4 to 8. And I'm obviously being sarcastic. That was a shitty job, but you know, it's what kids do to make a little bit of money on the side. Okay, you guys take care. Again, congrats to Phil for your 1,000 subs. I'm definitely going to be exploring your channel a lot more because I think our senses of humor are kind of on the same wavelength. So, yep, take care, guys. Be excellent to each other.